Welcome to Circle Back to Sunday here at Victory Hill. We are so excited that you're here to join us as we circle back and dive deep into the message from Sunday's sermon. You are going to get to meet some of our pastoral team on an intimate level, as well as other members here at Victory Hill as we circle back to Sunday's sermon. Welcome back. We are still kicking off season 2. We're just going to say we're still kicking it off because this is only episode 2 of Circle Back to Sunday. We're kind of official now.
We got a sign.
Look at us moving on up in the world.
We got new lights. We got a sign.
Gabe, don't eyeball it too much, buddy. It's not really hung yet.
It's like, wow.
Yeah, don't move too swiftly.
Yeah, we got to sit still. Because we might be circling back. But we are so glad to be back. And this week, we let Mason come back this week. 2 weeks in a row.
I don't know who does the scheduling, but I just want to appreciate them for bringing me back.
Yeah.
And not Bethany.
Gabe said
I'm
me
just
too.
kidding. Wait, never mind.
Gabe's like, I thought I got fired
time
season
out.
1.
Never mind.
Thought I got fired season 1. You didn't. You're back,
No,
buddy. You
Gabe is back.
are on the.
I
You
won't be
circle
up
back
next
every
week.
once in a while.
I
No. We cannot give all
we
of
don't know who's-
your words of encouragement and just wisdom every week.
No,
Well,
it all
that's
just.
We got to balance
I
it
don't want
out.
to sound like. No, I don't have any. I want to be humble. Yeah. No, I don't.
I was setting you up and you.
I don't want to be
All
like,
right.
yeah, there's not enough on that memory card to hold all my wisdom.
My wisdom.
All my wisdom.
Oh, my. We are. Listen, it's been a day. Y'all are going to
It's
just
been
have
a
to.
great day. We
been a great
still
day.
had
We're thriving.
how many baptisms?
This
3?
week we had
3 baptisms
4, I
today.
think,
4.
right?
3, yeah, 4.
Did we do
Two.
2 in the first? 2 and 2?
2
Yeah,
2 and 2.
4.
Look at us.
That-
Even numbers.
2
I'm
plus
pretty
2.
sure that's 80. About 95.
No, I think maybe did we
81,
surpass 80?
80, 81, 95.9%
100.
sure.
Wow.
It's
Practically,
basically
in preacher math, that is 100.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah, that's what you tell your buddies. Almost 100 people.
We set a goal and we're blowing it out of
Yeah,
the
we
water.
Duh.
Baptisms, get it?
I love it.
I'm glad this is a video podcast because they just saw me spill that coffee all over
I do
myself.
too.
I've got a faulty lid.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to take it
Has
off.
nothing to do with the person.
No, not user error at all.
No. Today was actually
Great word
special.
today.
It was a special kind of like sermon.
so good.
I love a tag team message.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've not seen it, we want you to circle back
Yes,
and go watch the sermon.
for sure.
Uh,
You have to go see it.
One of she said that Trey was her best friend a lot. I feel that
Your feelings hurt?
there were a little bit. I feel like, but it's okay. They've been good friends longer than Amy and I, and that's okay. I understand that. And but her making her debut today
She did. Amy Payne.
in
so
a
good.
sports coat. I mean, what are
Wow.
we doing?
Listen, she
Blazer?
came in and
Shoes were fire.
she was head to toe.
She
Yep.
she talked to me. She's like, I'm wearing this Sunday. And
Oh, I was
showed me-
there for those
said,
conversations.
I said, like, you better call Trey. And she said, why? I said, because you can't come in here trying to stunt on people and not tell the person you're preaching with.
Which he did kind of call that out a little bit in one of the services. He was like,
yeah.
His shoes were on point.
His shoes were
He
fire.
did,
I love
yeah.
those hoodies that he's
Yeah, me
got.
too.
They're like real thin. They're nice.
okay.
Real nice.
They're like a tuxedo T-shirt of hoodies. They're not too warm, not too
tuxedo
cold. You can.
t-shirt.
Perfect for
They're
the fall.
formal, but you're here to party.
If
You
y'all
could-
need to know about the hoodies,
Yeah.
Mason or Trey can let you know where to get those.
Yeah,
Listen, not
I
saying
used
that
to know
Trey
where he got
is,
them, I
but
forgot.
like big boys, we know hoodies.
Okay.
Trey,
love
Gabe's
hoodies.
got hoodie. Gabe loves a hoodie.
I got 23 hoodies. in
20.
my closet.
That's a very specific
Dang.
number. And the fact that you kind of know that.
Did
is-
your
I
wife count
counted them.
those?
I actually counted
did?
them one day because I was like, that's a lot of hoodies. And I counted them. I got 23.
But
So-
you like to
Wow.
have a history of memories attached to a
Yeah,
lot of
well,
them,
I've
don't you?
actually thought this year I'm going to have to get rid of like 22 of them because they look kind of raggedy now. So
I've got 2 that I've
Just want to
kept.
make a blanket out of them.
yeah,
Literally-
Bethany usually wears them.
I've got
She likes them.
I got 2 that I kept that one I wore both of them to when Kennedy was born and when Lad was
Oh, yeah, you
born,
can't get
and
rid of
I'm
those.
in the pictures behind them in the same hoodie.
Yeah.
Can't get rid of it.
Third one, I got a new Carhartt hoodie though, and I was like, "This is more comfortable. I'm gonna wear
So
this one."
I've got a
Shit,
T-shirt
we got a special one.
that I still wear that I got when I was a freshman in high
I've
school.
heard about this.
My shirt?
Yes,
You heard about it?
I feel
Yes.
like
This
yes.
has nothing to
still
do with
wear
the
it.
sermon, but that's actually impressive.
It's
Yeah.
pretty awesome. It's in my,
It's pretty awesome. He's
I
like, yeah.
wear it maybe once every 2 weeks, something like that.
Wow, that's
I
it's,
thought it
it's
was
in
the
his
one-
wardrobe.
What was the
routine.
one you had? Some like a piece of clothing you wore with? No, it was the cups from the med center that you've got from each kid.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, Bethany talked about that,
That's
yeah.
the one. I was thinking it was
do
a hoodie,
have
but no,
those.
you got all the cups. That's fire.
Yeah,
Listen,
we do
those
have the
were
mitts and
the cups before Stanley's were a thing,
Dude,
okay?
that's so cool. But hey,
like a
Amy
battle
and
cup.
Trey,
Speaking of memories,
like knocked it out
Yep.
of the park today.
they did. And
They
it was
amazing.
about their friendship and how
Yeah.
that's grown. And if you have not watched it and you've not heard Amy Payne's testimony, which is an incredible
Yeah.
testimony, you need to go and make sure
Yeah.
that you watch that. But it's still, I love it because it ties so well into our go and tell.
Yep.
And where we're prepping for Sit With Me September.
We
It just was perfect.
yeah, we tried to do this thing where I'm sorry, a lot going on. 9:10 today.
Hey.
Sorry, we can cut this out, Cody.
We can celebrate having 910
That's
people.
it. Praise the Lord.
We just broke
Wow.
900.
Sorry, we broke 900. Yeah.
Wow. Praise
Going it, dude. I'm telling y'all, September.
Okay, focus.
September gonna be nuts.
Okay, we got
Sorry.
to reel it in. Circle
All right,
back.
where was I?
I don't even know.
I've heard Amy do her testimony in a couple different
Yeah.
like ways and spaces and places, and just to hear her and Trey's story was just amazing today.
Yeah, because you got that
just to
connection
hear-
outside of just Amy's testimony.
Yeah, and just like the way that the small group was there for Larry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Larry
I was actually around. I wasn't like deep involved in their
He
small
wasn't
group.
allowed to go.
No, I went a few times, but like it was, you know how it is. You get busy and you're trying to get into small groups,
Uh-huh.
and so we learned that Sunday nights were tough for us. But and not to make about me, but I'm not trying to make about it. Sorry, but I saw a lot of that unfold,
Well,
Yeah.
and just to hear
You
them,
got to witness
I got
it.
to witness it. Just to go back and hear them talk
Yep.
about it, and just to see where Amy is now. Like I didn't really know Amy.
Yeah.
In the madness they call it, or even before. Like
Yeah.
I knew Larry, I knew Karsten, but didn't really know Amy. And just to hear the story of how God moved in her life.
Yep.
She's like we talked something like she's what gives us hope with what we're doing in the outreaches that we're doing. Like,
Oh, yeah.
where's the next Amy?
Yeah.
Not that Amy's not good, but like who's that next person?
But Amy is going to
that-
continue to do bigger things. We know it.
Oh gosh, yeah. And the thing is, like, you people, and I know people wrote her off, like,
Oh, yeah.
just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and to see what she's doing now, just so proud of her. Proud to call her a friend. I know I'm not her best friend, but
Apparently.
our Instagram,
He's not upset. at
our
all.
Instagram meme and short exchange is fire. I just want to put that out there. It might get us fired, but it is fun.
Well, the thing that was awesome for me was like it was Amy's testimony, but really it was Trey's
Yeah.
It
testimony.
was. It
Yeah.
was so
Because
great.
it was amazing to see like that side of like I was the small group leader and I
Yeah.
was kind of
Yeah.
the person everybody was looking to, and here comes this person that we're welcoming into our small group, but I'm having a hard time not being judgmental.
But he already
not
knew
being-
her story.
Yeah.
Well,
and-
they were, he talked about it a lot. They were like, no, like,
Yeah.
don't let her
Yeah.
back in. Like,
Yeah. And he even said he
As
did say that they were
much as she-
judgmental. He was very
oh yeah,
honest about
as
it.
much
Which
as
is
she's hurt
powerful.
you, and that's what
Because they
that's
were
what-
trying to protect Larry as well.
and I think that was where their heart was coming from. They brought Larry into their family.
Yeah.
You know, kind of picked up where she had left off, really in her life. I know Beth
And
has
she
talked
is
a lot.
honest about that. She said,
Yeah, she
today-
had like Beth Page has talked a lot about where Karsten and Caden were the same age, like just how much their family like really
Yeah.
took her in and took Larry in and Trey and Mallory and all just the family, and then it's like, okay, you know, do you let this back in? And her story just goes, so you can't give up on people,
Right.
Yeah.
You can't totally give up on. Sometimes you have to create distance, which happens.
Sure.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
But to see the health of what they came back to was just amazing.
Well, and that happened over the course of years, though. Like,
Yeah.
that
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
like 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that took some time.
That's
and
yeah.
a lot of energy.
Years. I
Yeah.
mean, she's been on staff here, and she was probably, she's been here 4 years, right?
Yeah.
It had to be like 19, maybe 2019. I can't believe I've almost been 10.
She has been on staff for about 2019 because
Yeah.
in 2017, what's ironic was that my first small group was Amy Payne's.
Oh wow.
Lady Tribe,
No,
right?
it
Was
wasn't called
Lady
that before.
Tribe?
Yeah, because when I took it over, we named it Lady Tribe, but it was Amy Payne. And she ran that small group. And I remember I walked in there terrified.
Yeah.
Just absolutely terrified. And she made it the most comfortable place. She did these icebreakers that just kind of like broke that awkwardness where like even Trey said that something about when they were in that small group and he asked how it went and she's like, I never got to walk in those doors at the jail
I
before.
loved going through those doors of the jail.
You know, like, but that's Amy's personality.
Yeah.
But to have that, even then, before she was on staff, it was empowering to people like me because
Yeah.
I'm thinking if Amy Payne can turn it around, there's
Well,
hope.
Yeah, and to see
And our backstories are different, but
Yeah.
like sometimes you just need some hope.
Yeah.
right, and to see where she came from, got better, got healthy, got her family back,
Yeah.
then to go back and get other people locked in that, just the way she's led, the way she's had her life. She's gonna hate that we've talked this long about her, by the way, and I love it. But the way
Not sorry.
she leads, the way she does and carries herself, and the people that she helps, she wasn't one of those that got out of her situation and just left everybody there. No, she went back and pulled people out of the same stuff that she was in, showed them the way to get out with her work through the Dream Center. I remember one time we went, it was during COVID, and for some reason, it was our heart was behind it, but at the same time, looking back now, I'm like, so dumb. It wasn't dumb. We had the most fun. We got in our ugly church van that we had at the time, and we went and
Listen,
took,
the
we
band did the
took
Lord's
10
work.
we took like we just took some money and like had envelopes with $10 in them and just went to I don't remember what type of workers they were the ones essential workers, and we took stuff to them.
They were
we
the
had
only
a
people allowed to go
So
anywhere.
I could spend half a podcast telling you about the crazy stuff that happened on this because we went through drive-throughs. Red Lobster brought us free Cheddar Bay biscuits. It was the best day ever. Like
Blessed.
we were
Blessed
griping.
and highly favored.
I'm going to use that in a sermon one day because we were griping in the car like, what is taking so long? We're trying to bless them. What are they doing? And all of a sudden, one of us goes, well, what if they're getting us biscuits? And we're like, no. Joker brought out a box full of Cheddar Bay biscuits. Like the box burnt my hand. They were so hot. But we went to
Confidence to be like, these things are so good. We're gonna bring them.
We're gonna bring.
We know they're gonna love them because everybody.
We were
loves
like,
these
"Whoo,
things.
whoo, whoo," like, but we went and I got to
That's
see her
confidence right
in her
there.
element, helping the people in the place that she used to
yeah.
be locked up in.
Yeah.
We went to the jail one day, and there was a woman there that they had just brought in that was like in the madness full, and with COVID where they had brought her from a different place, they had to segregate her, and she was full tilt, just struggle issue.
COVID was
And to
hard
see
as it was.
Amy, and because we took like $10 cards to all the inmates so they could call home
Oh, yeah.
and check on family.
Great idea.
And Amy had the idea because like a lot of people didn't have money on their books, and we just got them cards that they could call home on and check on their family, and just to see the care that she has for the people and just the love that she has for the people. It's just a great story.
She does have a big heart.
She does.
She's awesome. And I love that like they sat down together to have this conversation. And
Right.
like their first point was that growth is initiated when you find your people.
Yeah.
And I love how the whole thing like started out Amy's growth. You know, this
Yeah.
was her testimony. And I think that there was people here today that needed that.
Yes.
I think that there was people online today that needed to know that story. You know, we see Amy on staff all the time. She does announcements, she
Right.
does this, but to truly know her story and to know where she's come from, that is a level of just hope and God's grace that you can't touch that. You can't curate that.
I think, what I wish people would get, and Gabe can talk a lot about this because him and Bethany are killing it with our small groups right now. But
Are.
like, we
Or
tell,
don't shake your head no.
we tell people we want them to get into small groups.
Yeah.
I don't want you to have just another thing to go to.
No.
I'm telling you, as our church grows larger, those small groups, that's where true discipleship happens, community happens. I feel like the majority of our ministry happens because when people have burdens, have things going on, like Larry, when he, he's having to figure out how to be a single dad and raise a young daughter, And like his small group, that was where that community was. That's what your small group is for. It's for those people. Your small group really isn't for the good times of your life. It's great to have that. I want your small group to be there to pick you up when you're down.
Yep.
And like that's what I've experienced. I've got a small group of guys that I've had in my life for many, many years, that Trey being one of those guys.
Amy, Trace's
Trey's my best friend, which he is.
They have matching necklaces. They don't tell people about.
Yeah.
One says
Probably.
best, one says friend.
We got tattoos.
Nice.
It's Bert and Ernie. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. JK.
Leaving that out.
Yeah, we'll have to bleep that out. We won't. But no, Trey is my best friend, or one of my best friends, and best good friends is how I like to say it.
Best good friend.
But yeah, just to hear them talk about, just like you said, just the both sides of that story.
Yeah, it was
of her people, the people that would be her people, caring for her family when she couldn't.
Yeah. And what was it? She said she told him that if she didn't like it, she was leaving, willing to walk home.
I will walk home.
I will.
And listen, Amy's grown.
And if you know Amy, she gonna do it.
Back in the when she first started staff, like she was the one that, like, if we ever needed like something done,
oh yeah,
like she could still handle business for us.
She's the muscle.
She's the muscle.
she's like the bouncer.
I joke all the time, like
She's not the usher.
we try to
the
leave,
bouncer.
like when we leave or something, and it's just a couple of the ladies at the office. Like we'll lock the doors, and like we're all heading out, and we're locking in. I don't even worry with Amy. I'm like, they're gonna if somebody came in to do you harm here, they're gonna regret that they did that. So
Yeah.
They gonna meet the Lord.
yeah,
And we can't even it's going to be Amy's way.
Praise the Lord.
That's how
Yeah,
it's going to be.
That's right.
But, I do think that y'all are doing amazing with the small groups, and I do think
killing
it's
it.
important.
How
So,
many we have right now? 19.
No, 21, I think.
I
oh,
love it. I was worried he was gonna go. No, it's like 14. I was like, oh, sorry.
21.
No, 21. Good.
Yeah, it's really
two
good.
less than the sweatshirts in his closet.
Two less than that.
I've got 2 more sweatshirts. If you want to join a small group or start one,
We're going to start giving
I got
Gabe
2 more
sweatshirts
sweatshirts
out.
for you.
We're going to raffle some sweatshirts off. He's going to sign them. It's going to be fine.
Yep.
But yeah, you all are doing a great job. But I
Gabe
think, but I do think that it is huge because growth it happens there. And like when you find your people, it truly is just an open door because when you find your people, you find that safe space.
Yeah.
And I think if you don't have a safe space, you can't grow.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's just tradition. Like traditionally, you go to church, and then that's where you intend to find community, which you do find community at church. But on Sunday morning, like most of the time, the way that it would go is like we meet Jesus. We've come to church on Sunday morning. Then our job now is to bring more people on Sunday morning. So our job on Sunday is not necessarily to receive necessarily, but it's to give.
Yeah.
But the time that we receive is in small groups, where we can go and we can share about each other, share about what's going on in our lives, and to be able to have community. That's where community is built. Sunday is to share Jesus and to pour out into other people. Community happens in small groups.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think it's huge that we have, you all are doing a great job, and we have a lot of amazing small groups. And I know that there's plans for even next semester that's going to be, it's going to be great. But he also said that growth is sustained when you find your place. And off of that, I want to say, because what you just said reminded me of one of the notes I took today, that people have a responsibility to support restoration.
Yeah.
And I immediately started writing that down as soon as that came out of Trey's mouth because I felt like there was so much power behind that.
Yeah, there is.
And as a small group, even if you're not the leader, you're just a member.
Yeah.
Our responsibility is to love on those who need it the most.
Yeah.
And your small group is where you can be vulnerable, where you can be like, hey, this has been on my heart. It's the first time I'm saying it out loud, so that those battles you're not facing alone, but our responsibility in discipleship is, as you said, like on Sundays, bring more people, but also to love the people that are around us, to help them, to empower them, and to help them grow in their walk with Christ. So that's kind of, I was like, I got to write that down. I immediately need to write that down because it was a very powerful thing that Trey said.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he realized he said it, but it was pretty great.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's
I'm
powerful.
here and I'm listening. I'm sorry. I'm just handling some business.
Hey, you do what you got to do.
Gabe and I've got this, okay?
I'm
got
listening. Y'all are doing
Pam,
amazing.
this way. We got it.
We got this.
But yeah, and I think like what Trey and them was talking about like they went out, they did something together as a small group, and then they went into their home.
Yeah.
That's why home groups are so important.
Yeah.
Because there's like a level of, oh my goodness, Mason almost spilled that coffee everywhere. Wow.
No,
praise
you know
him.
it didn't. What are you talking about?
But there's a level to where you can you can grow and you can be vulnerable and you can do those things on campus. But when you go into somebody's
Yes.
home, it's like you're welcome here. You can be comfortable. You can kind of let your guard down. Like we've got a Sunday afternoons or a Sunday evening small group, 20s and 30s. And like my first text is like, hey, just want you to know sweatpants and hoodie. Like we're chilling,
comfy.
we're coming, we're breaking down walls. You know what I'm saying? And like that's where but that's how you like grow community because it's like I'm not having to worry about trying to do all these extra things. Like we're just coming, we're loving on each other and hanging out.
I failed at that, which is funny because I invited a couple to our small group. We have one on Sundays as well. Yeah. And I was just excited. I was like, hey, they actually want to come. This is great.
Yeah.
And I'm not the leader, so I didn't send out a text message. I forgot to tell them we're casual.
Oh, they came dressed up?
Like Sunday.
Oh, no.
And I'm rolling up in like jeans and my Crocs and a t-shirt.
Hairs up.
Jeans
in a
dressed up for me, yo.
ponytail. Well, listen, my kids go through so many clothes, I've got to limit the laundry. So if I'm already wearing them, I'm already wearing them.
Lad Harris
Yeah,
is
it's
mad
true.
if he's not wearing jeans.
I know.
Yes, Joker loves
That's how
jeans.
Micah is.
Tears my
Love that
wife
for him,
up.
though.
She wants him to wear shorts. She's worried he's going to be hot. And he's like, I'm a farmer.
I'll be like,
I need jeans.
I'll be like, Micah, put on some comfy clothes. He's like, these are comfy. Jeans and a polo. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I-
that ain't
You know what? Let them do them. Okay,
That's-
they got their
yeah.
own style. But I failed at that, so I was like, my
Yeah.
bad.
My
So
bad.
next time, y'all can wear whatever you want to.
Comfy.
comfy.
Well, I think what's cool too, I know there's a couple small groups that meet and like a bunch of people from their neighborhood come.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
And
crazy.
I
Look at
love
that.
that their home group is happening within their community, which I think that's the big
community
win.
and
It's your
community.
it's actual neighbors
Yeah.
taking care of each other.
Yeah.
And I love that there's community fulls of people that come here, that
Yep.
they all go here. Or even if some that don't, they open their house to people.
Yeah, we have
We've
people in
known
groups
we
that
have
don't
known
come to church
people
here.
that have come to church from small group. I talked with a couple people the other day. They were like on the fence about church, on the fence about here, not like at church in general. They had a lot going on, and I said like go to a small group.
Yep.
Yeah. Go
Like
for it.
I would love to.
what Amy did.
Go get in a small. If you're worried about coming here, worrying about knowing people, like I'll help you find a small group. We'll get you plugged in. You'll have people
Yep.
to help you, and that way when you come, you'll have somebody to sit with. If
Yep.
you don't know anybody here, they've been a couple times, and it's just
I mean, and Amy's a huge example of that.
because I remember Pastor Nathan took me to Highlands when I was like 15, and it's a very large mega church in Alabama, and like
pretty
when you
sizable.
pull on the property, it's like whoa,
Yeah.
like it a 3,000 seat
overwhelming.
auditorium. There's so much, and like he said to me something that stuck with me most of my ministry. He said there's people that pull on the property from Scottsville that feel like this when they come on our property. And he
That's
said
a
you
great
always
reminder.
remember that there will be people in the room that feel the way we feel right now being in this big of an auditorium.
Right.
So to see our small groups, it takes what people may feel like a very, very large church, and it makes it their home. It makes it their people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there's nothing better than getting the amount of people that we get together on a Sunday morning to lift up the name of Jesus and worship. But I think it's so important for us to do what Jesus did and emulate that small group model of where he would preach to the crowd. He had his 12. He also had his 3.
Yep.
That it got smaller, the ones that were closest to him.
Yeah.
So,
And I think that's what, as your small groups grow, you're going to find that.
yeah.
Like, you don't have to feel obligated to talk to every single person in the small group. Like, we have couples, and we don't have a group text with
I've got-
everybody. The guys have their own
Yeah.
group text. We have our own group text.
I've got junior and senior boys in high school, the Unashamed group that I've got, and you would think they don't want to share, they don't want to really talk. They all talk. They all are like
probably
buying
overshare
in.
sometimes.
No, it ain't that bad.
senior
We haven't
boys.
experienced that yet. We've met one time, but
Oh, well, you just may well buckle in, buddy.
but like I was worried I was going to be the one that's have to drive in the conversation. But I think people want to get in
Yeah.
that more of a comfortable zone to really, and that's where that growth happens.
Yeah, and I think that Amy does a great job of using her testimony
Yeah.
to explain that growth.
Yeah.
And I think that with Trey sitting there next to her, the grace that comes with what we want to do and establish here to
Yeah.
grow more disciples is a true testimony, because
Right.
we have to be able to be that person. We have to be able to be the Treys. We have to be able to be the people that are like, hey, you know what? It's messy.
Yeah.
It's not a good look.
Yeah.
It's fine. Come on in.
Yeah.
We're good. We're still going to love you.
Yeah.
And but I love that the transparency that even Trey was like, I was a little judgmental.
Yeah.
And we're human. We're human.
100%.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about our church, is that
Yeah.
we're just going to be honest. We're going to be transparent.
Well, that's what Amy's been a big help to me, and even people in our
Same. I can attest
I
to
can
that.
have that lean.
Yep.
I can really have that lean, especially if somebody has hurt someone
Mhm.
or if someone has neglected someone. Me and Brian joke sometimes. We'll be like, we'll say, well, I could never do what Amy does. And I looked at us, I was like, that's why we don't, because she's got the
Ooh.
deeper heart.
Yep.
Not that we don't love and care for people, but the way the gifting of where she came from is different than ours. And I will even go to her sometimes and be like, am I being a jerk about this? Like, am I really, like, here's what and it's good to have people in your small
But the
group.
people like
and
Amy,
that's
they're going to be
growth.
blunt. They're going to tell you.
That's growth, being able to say, hey, this is my
Yep.
initial reaction. Is this right? Is this wrong?
Yep.
And you can do that. The Bible will help you do that. Also, your small group
Yeah.
will help you do that
Yep.
and really push that. So,
And you got to have those people in your life
Yeah.
that are just like, you are really overreacting right now.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
tuck that back in.
Yeah, and we all have a part to play. I mean, that's
We do.
really what Trey and Amy were saying. Like
Yeah.
Trey and, Amy has a part to play in, going and meeting people in a spot that Trey's never been before, really. But when
Yeah.
they come into this place, or they come into a small group, or they're in a place where they're both together, then Trey's got a part of being like, hey, man, I may never have been there before, but I have a mess that I have been in before.
Yeah.
Or, everybody has got something that they've
Right.
struggled with,
Yeah.
whatever. And it's like, I'm no better. And like, if anything, I just, the grace that I have, I'm more grateful for.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I want you to have it. And I think Amy said that at one point.
She said, giving the gratitude away
That's it. Yeah.
every chance she gets. And
Yeah.
I wrote that down and I
Mm-hmm. help
highlighted
but
it.
give
Trey,
it
do
away.
not get all upset because I didn't highlight what you said. It was still as amazing.
That'll probably be a T-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, one person in this room has a T-shirt from
Somebody
their
does.
sermon.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I got a logo.
Yeah.
I wore it last week. Bethany, she said, "Are you going to wear the T-shirt?" I
He
was
wore
like,
his own
"Well,
merch.
it's fun.
I'm not gonna not.
You have to think about like, okay, I can't wear it too soon because I
Yeah.
won't be like, hey, look at me in my
Hey,
shirt,
right.
But then you can't not wear it eventually because then the people that made it be like, oh, he must
But
not
it's a
like
nice
the shirt.
shirt.
Right,
No, I
right.
like the shirt.
a
So I
nice
was like, all right, I think this is time to wear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she did
It
say
was-
that about giving gratitude away
So
every chance
she
gets.
talked about being a yes person.
Yeah.
And that's how she had social
Yeah.
media.
Yeah.
Because she was coming in, she was like, homegirl was substituting at the Christian school
She
we had
was.
here.
She was.
She would come over here and help us sometime. And I remember one time she was here a lot during the day, and I was just like, I was having to do our social media, and it's a lot. She knows she's training, so it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It is a lot to be
Yeah.
what we want it to be.
Oh, I
It's a
know.
lot to have the reach and the things
We
that
gon'
we
we
want.
gonna get there.
So I just said, hey, like, could you want to do a couple posts? And like
girl.
turned into, hey, here's your login to, okay, hey, this is yours. You're doing so much better at it than I ever
right.
thought about. And so I pushed that off on her hardcore.
And now this is me as Amy. Amy is
Yes.
now the Mason in that
Yes,
situation.
now Amy's pushing it off, and Emily's doing great.
That's awesome.
Emily's learning. We're learning. We're getting there. We're doing
We're
things.
growing.
We're
growing.
growing.
We are growing.
Look at us. We're growing. But the final point that they made, it was just, honestly, it ties into this. Growth multiplies when you find your passion.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Amy has a passion for people where she was.
Yeah.
Amy has a passion for people in general.
Yeah.
But especially for people. And I remember when I was in that small group, my very first small group, Amy talked about working with women at the time who were in addiction, and she would go to the women's homes and she would work with them. And she told us before, we switched over leadership, that small group, because she led it for a few more semesters, that her goal was to have her own place to help people.
Yeah.
And just to even be a person that my ears heard that
Yeah.
is like, it gives me chills. And today, I cried like a baby, because to see how much God has changed her life. And Amy is doing great work, but Amy will be the first person to tell you that it is not her, that it is God.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for the grace of God and it wasn't for God putting those people in her life, she wouldn't be doing what she's done.
She said it today, but she'll joke, or sometimes we'll talk and be like, well, I should be doing that. I should be that. She goes, well, I should be dead. Or I should be in prison.
Yeah.
And
She used to tell us that she
right.
didn't look good in the prison uniforms. What she tells in the women's
Right.
conference, which is
which I remember.
it's not everybody's colors.
Just to see the DC.
It's amazing.
Gosh, we could talk about that forever.
And that her and Darren we're not going to share Darren's testimony, but for her and Darren to do that together is incredible.
And just to think, like, it started in the rooms we have at Building C, and she and I,
and it wasn't an on-stage sermon start. It was small group, little conversation.
She and I talked right before they moved, and she was like, "This is what I'm feeling. I feel like we're running out of space. I feel like we need our own space." And I'm like, and we talked and really just felt like we got to go where the people are.
Yep.
We've got to stop asking them to come here where there's nothing like this. We're the only show in town. Yep. The ones that were happened didn't make it through COVID. And I remember when we went in to the Dream Center, somebody else was renting it at the time. And we walked in and it was a junker. Like, it had crap.
It's a little hot, man.
It was awful. It was crap everywhere. But I'm like, we both looked at each other and talked about, like, this is it.
This is it.
Sometimes you just know. God's like, yep, here you go.
You see a vision for it. That's what it takes.
We joke about buying the block all the time. And really making it bigger. There's more dreams. There's more vision behind it.
And there's always more people that need.
Yeah, and just to see, so like what they did this past winter with the warming shelter. I remember her calling me like, people are going to die if we don't open the doors. So let's open the doors. Let's do something. And we talked through it. There was a couple people, and then ended up being 14 people. We served them. We took care of them. And like Amy said, 7 of them are like completely transformed in homes. Like, lives are turned around. 11 we're in contact with. I know a few of them that I know that I've met that still in long-term recovery. They're doing good. Like, things are moving. Just to see that, all because we just provided a place for people to meet, and just to see what it turned into, and just to see Amy's heart behind it. And and Darren will even tell you, like, he's done a lot there. He's great, but like, Amy is the driver. Amy's the one that
it's her passion.
It's her passion.
It is her passion.
It's her heart. And Larry's help. Let's not take a whole podcast and talk about and forget
and
to talk about
acknowledge Larry B.
The Larry Payne. And I told him today.
He's amazing.
I told him today. I said, bro, I don't care what they say. There's no Amy Payne without Larry Payne.
That's
right.
Because
Mason's looking for some brownie points because his feelings were hurt.
No, I don't care. I'm not looking for brownie points. I mean this 100%.
No, I'm just kidding. Larry's awesome.
Larry, to see their story makes me want to be a better husband. To see someone whose life went the way it went, that wasn't what they were expecting. They've been together since they were like 16 or 17.
Yeah.
Wow. Their whole life. To see him walk through that and lead his family, take care of his daughter.
Yeah, he carried the family for quite some time.
He had his own struggle with alcohol. Like, he jokes and says he got drunk one time, but for 7 years. And
just one long run.
Just to hear him talk about where he came from. And just his faithfulness, because he never stopped praying for his wife. Yeah, he never. He kept the door open. He kept opportunities there. He kept being there. He created distance. He protected his daughter.
Sometimes healthy boundaries are okay.
I think it was And I remember when Amy talked about her story, she got like sick and called Larry and like got this bad diagnosis and called Larry. And Larry could have easily just said, no, not what you, after what you did to me. No, Larry had the heart of Jesus, had the heart for his wife, and brought her back in, and just them as a family. I love all of them. Love the Paynes. Cody's on our team now.
Cody's awesome.
He edited the video that they surprised her with, which I knew.
Listen, that video was
I didn't want to talk about it, but I'm like, I'm worried she's gonna be like like she
Or she could
but
talk.
when they said it's toward the end, I'm like, okay, we're good. We're good. She doesn't have to say much after.
That's right.
But no, it was so good.
It was so good. And I love that because I honestly, before we close, one thing I want to say is that if you're out there and you've been struggling, whether it's from, like Trey said, depression, whether it's from addictions, whether it's from your marriage suffering, there's hope. And your passion could be big, it could be smaller, but God cares what your passion is. Don't give up on it. Find your place, find your people
I think
that will support that passion.
I think too, be very conscious of what you invest in today.
Yeah.
Because Trey reluctantly at first invested in that relationship, and as he talked about today, how much Amy was there for him when he was going through his stuff and struggling.
Their relationship just circled back to each
other.
other.
Flipped, circled back.
We did.
Wow.
Plug. But yeah, just you never know when in the relationships that you're invested in, the people that will actually pick you up.
Absolutely.
When you need lifting up. So,
and it's so before we really close, I want to ask everybody just real quickly to share something that Amy has done that's impacted you, whether that's something little, something funny, or just something big. Because for me, I'll go first.
You go first.
Is that her transparency from day one of me walking into that small group? Her transparency was empowering.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to really embrace that. But to even walk into a space on a church property and have someone that's willing to tell you the good, bad, and ugly, and then eventually hear yours and just walk up and hug you, like that's what Jesus is. That is Jesus. But it came through the body of Amy Payne that it impacted my life. And I can say that just in the years that I've been here, that I've tried to pay that forward. You know, I have a passion for women's ministry. Bethany has a passion for women's ministry. I about started to lisp there for a second. She got the passion for the women's ministry. the women's. But it's something that, like, those are passions. And everybody has a fire in them for something. And whatever that fire is, if you need support, reach out, because you could be the Amy to somebody that empowers somebody else. Your story isn't over. Like Amy said, she said, I could be dead. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Some of us have been in that situation. So for me, just her transparency was empowering. And it continues to be.
I can go.
You want to go? I got one.
Gabe goes last.
But you can go. You go. No, you got one.
Okay.
You want to rock, paper, scissors?
Okay.
It's not really like I don't have.
If you say mine though, I'm gonna go back and re-edit it that I went first. I'm just kidding.
I'm not gonna say yours. It's not really a story, but before me and Bethany started doing small groups, leading small groups, Amy was leading small groups. And sometimes in the business world, in the church world, in any world, when somebody goes from leading something to somebody else leading something, you can a lot of times be like, oh, I'm excited for you. I hope you do great. But deep down in your heart, you're like,
it
I
crashes and
hope
burns,
that you mess
so it
up
was on
so I
me.
can say,
Again,
you know,
we share transparency here.
and so like, and that's not a bash towards anybody.
No,
That's just
it's human nature.
What happens? Like, it's what you
sometimes
do. That's what I do sometimes.
Sometimes
and
we're a little
so,
competitive.
it was amazing to me when Amy did that. Like, helped us get started and was like, yeah, y'all take it. Celebrated every little thing. Like there was no like, oh, I hope that they kind of I hope that they call me so that I can,
or
fix the
I did it
problem,
this way.
or not one time has she ever been like, well, you could do this,
Yeah.
but everything has been like, y'all are doing awesome. Keep
Killing
going.
it.
Like
Yeah.
the heart behind that is so rare to
Right.
be able to
Yeah.
find that. But that's why, I would say that's one reason why God is like, do it. Like
Yeah.
you keep going and I'm going to keep boosting you.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep pushing. But it's just Amy's heart is so real in every aspect because she takes no credit for anything and just is always the cheerleader. So.
Yep. All right. This better be good.
I didn't want to go last, but
I think
no.
Dave inadvertently did that on purpose.
she, to me, and I'll bring Trey in too since you forgot him. But I was kidding.
Forgot him. Listen.
Amy,
Listen, Linda.
Amy and Trey both have been, and Amy have been the greatest encouragers to me. It's no secret. I'm like the youngest person on the team. Everybody I lead's older than me.
Facts.
And we all go through times where like I don't feel like I'm good enough. I don't feel like I can do this. I don't know. And I've like been at my wit's end before, and just Amy and she's been a place for me to vent, a place for me to talk. We've done that for each other, and she's always been the ultimate encourager.
Yeah.
Like, I'm with you. Like, I'm following you. I'm behind you. Like, I'm with, and like to see someone that's as strong of a leader as she is to encourage me in that way. And Trey has too. That's the biggest thing for me that she's done. And it's not just me. I know she does that for everybody.
Yeah.
I know she
there's
does
some
that.
people she might do a little extra.
Now, listen, I want y'all to know, Amy can flip on a switch. Like, she loves them, brings them in, hugs on. But if they need a butt whooping, she will whoop that
What'd
butt.
she say? She little hood, she little
She
holy.
little hood, little holy. Pray with me, don't play with me.
That's right.
All right?
That's right.
Pray with me, don't play
And
with
listen,
me.
we're not forgetting Trey. Trey's amazing. But Trey's passion is
Yeah.
educator, loving on that
Oh, gosh.
kids in that school
Yeah.
system. Trey Harper's one of the best.
Well, it's what Mason said.
Not one of my calling.
Trey is the most encouraging person
Yes.
that I've ever been, and just can like
Yeah.
sense you need to text right,
Right.
now, or you need like to be lifted up.
And
like,
Like
he
I've
knows
never
that
been
you're
around
they
anybody
make me like
Trey.
I try to be that because I know I'm not.
Yeah,
I
me too. I wanna be.
I'm like, I want to be
I
as
wanna care about
encouraging as
you.
you are, but I want to. I want to care, but like I want to sit in my
Don't worry about
problems
that,
so
Gabe.
bad.
That's right.
I won't care about you.
I want to care, but I can't. It's not my
I got
nature.
something else to do right
That's
now.
not the gift God
I'm a
gave
little
me.
busy. I need to mark this off my list first.
That's right.
Oh, I do love
Yeah.
that. Really and truly, all of our staff, I think we all have strengths and we all have these things that we're passionate about and we're
Right.
good at, which is what makes it work.
Yep.
Because if everybody was good at the same thing, we would be failing people
So true.
everywhere.
So true.
And so, we just ask, if you haven't checked us out here at Victory Hill, come on in.
Yeah.
Find one of us. Find one of the people that are on staff or on the teaching team, and we'll be happy to sit with you. We'll be happy to have a one-off conversation with you. And if you need a small group, I know the people that can find you one.
They
Yeah.
will hook
Hey,
you
find one.
They'll
up.
plug you in. You can try out a few
Yeah.
of them.
That's right.
If
And
you
find
get
your
there
people.
and the people are weird,
Try
Okay.
another.
try a different one.
That's
If
right.
you get there and none of them are weird,
Stay.
might be you.
Maybe.
Maybe the
It
right
might
one.
be the weird one.
But
I'm
you're
just
still
kidding.
welcome.
You might be the weird one. That's me in my small group. It's fine.
Yeah, possum lady.
I do. Listen, if anybody has a pet possum,
I actually had
would like to.
a possum at one time in my life. Go
If you
ahead.
ever catch one
Go
again,
ahead.
will you call me?
We'll move on.
Will you
We
call
let him go. He was really not excited about being caught.
me? He wasn't thrilled about
We
it.
tried to feed him.
And
He was like,
that's a story for next week. Love
As
it.
we're gonna put a pin in that.
you, buddy.
But we are.
Peace out, possum.
We have a new sermon series coming up shortly.
I started
So
it next week.
if you join us
That'd be
in
awesome.
person, we're still going to challenge you to invite someone to sit with you in September.
Yeah.
There may or may not be some good gifts.
The gifts are fire. I did not steal one as I talked about last
Because
week.
that is the Lord
God doesn't
looks
like that.
down on that.
Frowned upon in this
But he might
establishment.
bring a guest. You should invite someone.
I invited you. I'm just kidding.
I already. We cannot.
We could do that. We could so do that.
I'll wear a wig.
Yep.
It's fine. But seriously, invite someone. If you watch online, please
Yes.
host a home party. Like invite your people in your neighborhood.
Right.
And you know what? Start your own small group.
that's right.
They've got the
We'll help you.
curriculum.
We'll help help.
They got the curriculum. But we are blessed to be able to do this, to do a circle back to the sermons, and we hope that it blesses your week. And Mason probably will not be back next week, but we're going to bring you back.
I'm preaching next week. So
That's right. That's why we're giving you a week off.
Yeah.
Again, we
I'll
can't
be
share your
back.
wisdom all the time.
I'll be back.
You're not fired.
No.
But we're so thankful. We hope you guys have an amazing and a blessed week, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Oh my gosh. Why